And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 170. And so we're going to continue work here on the front end loader. Try to get that hopefully as close to finished up as possible so that when Industrial Frontiers come out, we'll have all the vehicles we need. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so let's go on the workbench and let's find where we left off here. So presently, the loader is pretty much done. Or the rear section of the loader is done. We need to start working on the front section. And so I'm not going to bother with the cab until kind of get the front section in. And so I'm going to bring up some front end loaders as reference material again. And that will kind of inform some of the shapes and some of the, especially some of the angles that we're going to need to get this done. So let's go ahead and looking for the articulated. So this is a good overhead picture. I was going to say if it de-blurs a little bit, super blurry, but so you kind of have a sloped area here. The arms go as far back as possible, slope down to the bucket. Then we have this mechanism here, so you essentially have a link, a pivot, and then the hydraulic actuator goes there, and then you should have hydraulics under here. So if we look at this picture here, you can see this one's a single arm boom. I think I'm going to do a twin arm. You can see the piston is there. Another twin arm here with twin pistons. I don't think we need that much just because it's on the smaller side. If we look at this one here, you can kind of see a better front picture here. The two actuators under the arms. The arms kind of go out and then slope down, allowing the actuator to grab it. Central beam, and then you have your pivot for your bucket actuator. All right, so kind of using some of these pictures, we can figure out how to do this. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is these are just blocks showing the bucket width. Symmetry should come on. All right, let's start deleting out. This was just counterweight so that I could actually operate it, countering that. So one thing I need to do here is so a lot of them show the arms behind the axles. The issue I need to do here first is let's do this. So let's do a little trick I like to do. So I'm going to put some colored blocks right behind the axle here. And so I'm just going to kind of we'll step them up. And then do that. And then here, I'll just keep going. Start with green. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of see where these can go before they start hitting the frame. And that's going to tell me where I can put the upright stanchions for my bucket, for my arms. So like if I start, if an electricity comes on, okay, so that's full. And so if we look here, you can see even that green, that far green there, that will still, it can be that wide and we can still probably not hit. If I go in one, we definitely don't hit. So let's try to go to that green and see if I can make it not hit. So we should be able to build out to here, I think. I'm trying to think if for safety, let me do one more test. May just go one forward. Let's see where they are here. So this wouldn't be the end of the world to put it here and leave a bigger gap. I think I'm going to leave a bigger gap. Just I can always move it back if I want to. So yeah, so the blue I think is a better choice. Putting it where the blue is. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll erase all this, and then so we're probably right about there. All right, so these are going to be the verticals for the arms, and so they go right up about to here. All right, and so let's say right there. And then I want pivots. No, I want pivots, but I'm trying to think what kind of pivots I want. So let's actually go like this. What are they? 3. Right there. So let's go Trying to think if I want big pivots or little pivots. I don't think it really matters all that much. Let's go little pivots. Yeah, let's go little pivots. So we can go one higher. All right, so there are the pivots for the arm. Like so. All right. And so in order to make these work with the pistons, what I want to do is try 2x wedges. Okay, it's probably a little bit too extreme. So let's go a little straight. Let's go like this. So let's go 1x4. Gotta click on it first. 1x4. Okay. And then we'll go, trying to think how to set this up here. Just trying to get the angles right here, which can be kind of a pain sometimes. Kind of using my reference material too to kind of inform how I set this up. Alright, so I'm just kind of looking for alright, and then I need bucket pivots. Alright, so that's pretty good. Next thing I need is I need to be able to hook my pistons on there. So I think we'll hook them on the inside. Or what I could do is trying to think of I have to consider the angles here for my pistons. So let's just start with a pivot here, and I need to figure out how long these pistons are going to be. Because the pistons are often very long, and so I have to kind of account for that. Yeah, you see how long. The problem is the pistons start at half out, so they're very long, and that makes it tough. Like, you know, it's very tough to build compact with those pistons. Let's start without pistons, and then I will try to figure it out later, I think. Like, even if I put them all the way in here, I could almost get them in here, but it's just the pistons are just super long. We can't really change the size of the pistons, so we'll wait on the pistons for now, and then let's put a cross beam here. I'll just do a square cross beam for now. And I might do a piston on this, or pivot, just a regular pivot on this. I was going to do a robotic pivot, but I think I'm going to just straight a regular pivot. Alright, and then this is going to go like that, and this will go like thinking like that. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and then bring in the bucket. There's the bucket. Alright, so proportionally the bucket looks good on size. Yep, bucket looks really good on size. Maybe up one. Go up two, I think. Forward one. Stick that there, and let's see if I can't get this connected to everything it needs. So it needs to go. That's the actual tipping. This is actually what's going to tip it there is. So that right there will actually is what's going to be tipping the bucket. This here is going to kind of just fake it almost, and then all right, and then I want to I think the best how to set this up. So I think what I'll do here is try to think how to set up this piston so it connects. So it should face, see this is again an issue with the piston being just massively too oversized. So I should be able to cut in that distance. We already measured that that would fit. So that'll give me extra space for doing piston work here. I can use a robotic pivot to cut down the space a little bit. I have to go up one, I think, anyway. I'll show you in a second kind of what I'm doing. I'm just kind of thinking it through at the moment. See, this is going to be an, will this be an issue? Okay, so that should connect there. Let's just add some controls here really quick. So, where's up, down? Up, down should be this set of pistons here, pivots rather. Left, right. Where's left, right? Left, right should be bucket tip. Up, I have to set the piston to 0 or else it's going to fight me. So I'll go 0. I do both, but that's the only one you really have to do is power. Alright, so let's see if the mechanism, again, the piston is actually not doing the articulation, the pivots are. So let's go ahead and go up. Yep, that's just backwards. And if, oh, they're reset. Okay, no wonder. Alright, so let's see, up, down. It's going to be sticky. Let's do like 2%. Let's do 3%, 4%, something like that. Did I do the wrong one? Nope, that's fine. And then left, right should be sticky. Let's make that like 5%. And then I didn't check the bucket articulation. I should have done that at the same time. These here are going to be cut. And then I'm just going to change the orientation of the arrows. So the arrows are pointing the other way. That will have them go in the right way. Okay, good. Let's paste that. Let's go merge, 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 and then let's also merge these together so they're one unit. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and spawn this. Okay, let's go up again. There's up. See, it's not shaking as much because the speed's lower. And let's go in. As you can see, that's kind of hokey because of the piston is causing this problem here. See, the piston's trying to pull out of that slot instead of rotating. It's trying to pull straight ahead, so I'm trying to see what's up with that. Okay. All right, so having issues with this pulling straight. Let's try something really quick. I'm these pistons are so long, I'm kind of tight on space. So let's try something different. Let's try a dual piston system for the bucket. So let's try this. And let's direct connect it. So let's try I'm trying to think of how to set this up. So the lower I set this up, the shorter the piston swing needs to be. Because if you think about it, when this articulates forward, this moves very little relative to this up here. The further you go away, the more it moves. So the closer I connect it to the actual pivot point, the better. Let me try something here. So let me just try to. Proof of concept's going to be a lot easier than. Proof of concept's going to be a lot easier, I think, than just trying to figure it out in my head and then do it. So let's go ahead and put that there. Let's go ahead and grab some pistons. Again, pistons can be very iffy. Yeah, see, look, right now. Trying to think how I want to do this. Again, this is for aesthetics too, so I'm just going to do a quick and dirty attachment here. This is probably not going to work well, but I'm going to stick it on here to see how it works for the moment. And then move on from there. Just kind of a proof of concept in here. Turn those both down to 0. Spawn it, see what this looks like. Alright. So raise the bucket up. Why are those? See, they're twisting. That's weird. See, they're all twisted up, which is weird to me. I don't know why those are. See how they're twisted? Oh, they're off one. That's why. So let me. You see how they're over one too much. So let's. All right, let's delete this. Let's delete that, and let's stick one in. There. Okay, now this shouldn't be twisted up now. Let's check it. All right, the issue is by having the pistons this high up, it's going to make it so that I have to have a real, I have to really extend them far. Oh, wrong button. So that's back. And then let's see what out looks like. See how now they're grabbing, because the lower I can get that, the better. So ideally, I want these pistons compressed more. So okay, so I'm going to probably have to do them backwards. Let's see. Let's try that center mechanism again. I think that's going to be our best bet. I think I just need to move it and give myself a little bit more space. And then I might even use a... I may even use a regular shock instead of an actual piston. Oh, why did I just delete something? There we go. Alright, so let's go like this for now. Alright, so the kind of the fundamentals of this is you have a longer arm on the bottom, and then you have a short arm up top. So say 2. And so this needs, the top needs to move less. Or if this moves this much, this one moves, say, double. So it's at 2, 3, so that will move, you know, a third more, essentially. And then this should connect to something on the bucket here. I'm going to try something that's going to be weird, but we'll see. This was something I was curious if this would work here. I was kind of contemplating in my head yesterday. Yeah. So this needs to come up is I think the end of it. This needs to come up further. I just, you know, everything in Stormworks is a little bit on the big side, so it's hard to get things spaced in properly. So I'm going to have to move that up quite a bit, I think, to get it where I need it. Okay, and so let's try putting it there. Okay. Alright. See, like these are 3 blocks wide, which makes it really hard to use them because they're just so excessively large that doing anything like this is tough because it's just tough because, you know, they're just so long, you know, and it makes it you have to fit them in, and they're 3 blocks wide, so it's tough to do. Oh my god, I'm just like, when you sit in the middle of the build, it makes it hard to grab anything. Okay, let's grab this one. There we go. Alright, so the thought process with this is this will swing down, pushing the bucket forward, and of course the bucket's actually doing the articulation, and then it will, the top part here will go forward and back. Well, that then hooks to a theoretical piston to make that work. So what I'm going to do here is, before I hook the piston up, I'm just going to watch the swing of this top one here. So let's spawn it and see if this articulates fine. Alright, so let's go up, and then let's go So see how it's articulating properly now? So that right there is bucket all the way up, which is fine. This here is going to be, let me go up as well. Okay, so right there is too far, which is fine. I can, so we're like, see, I need to be able to go bucket down more. Okay. All right. So that's kind of the articulation of that. So the angles just need to be worked on. This needs to come down lower. So bucket up we can do fine. Bucket down, this has issues with. All right. So proof of concept, that works. It just, I need to get the angles right. And so I think it needs to come in a little bit lower as well. So let's try, let's grab some more pivots here. Let's try doing almost like a straight set here. Like that. Let's try that. The closer it is to the bottom, again, the less range I need on it, and that's helpful. You know, the whole point of that is to reduce the piston length. All right, so see, that's where it gets funky. So okay, let's do this. I know it's why it's getting funky now. So let's go like this. It's like turned into Pivot City here. Okay. Then let's go. Crap. I'm trying to fix the problems I make as I go here. Alright, and then where's this one gonna hook? Right. Like that. Let's try this. Alright. So go up, and then let's go bucket all the way out. Yeah, so see it, okay. I know how to fix this. It's just, see, that's fine. Even the tall one was fine. What I need to do though is put in a pivot that can go 360 degrees. I just don't have the range on it, which is fine. So let's go ahead and go. Where is it? There's one right here. Actually, I want a velocity pivot. Alright, so now this one should be able to go 360 degrees. So we'll set this one to max power of 0 so it freewheels. And let's try the tall piston, the pivot up top again. Sometimes it's better using these rotating pivots because they're just, you can make them a heck of a lot smaller. The cat has to knock something down literally in every one of my videos, I think. I think that's his MO. Alright, so this is fine. I'll fix this in a second here. So that goes like that. Let's merge that. And then I'm just going to delete this and this. And then let's just, I'm going to put something so it doesn't look completely weird. Put that like that so it's connected. Whatever. This doesn't really matter. I don't think this is going to interact anyways, but I just need it to look like it's connected for my own mind. Alright, so let's test this. Alright, we're going to go up, and then I need to be able to dump this all the way down. So see, that's the issue there, is I don't have enough. Okay. See, I'm trying to go too high, definitely. Higher I go in the bucket again, the more articulation I need, so that's not going to work. I need this to go down towards the bottom. Alright, so this is fine. It just needs to kind of screw around with this a little bit here. That's good, and then I want to take this and I want to go up here. Cut this, we'll move this down all the way to... Longer I can make this, the better it's going to be geometrically. Alright, there we go. Alright, and then I want to go to right here, I think. Yeah. So what am I doing? I somehow deleted that pivot. Crap. Where's that pivot? Right there? Okay, there. Alright, let's merge this up here. Alright, then I need another one of those. Put right here. How many blocks is that? Probably do 2x wedges here. Alright, come on. Merge, ding dong. Alright. Alright, so let's check the articulation on this again. The lower I can get that, the better. And the longer I can get this arm, the bottom arm on that pivot, and the lower I can get it, the better. Alright, let's tip. Okay, I need more counterweight as part of the problem too. Let's get a... Let me go ahead and counterweight this so that I can do the test. Symmetry's off, as is typical. Oh my god, having issues here. There we go. Okay. So let's test it. I could probably actually come up one block, which would be nice if I can, on the bucket. Trying to look at just the bucket tip. There we go. That tips enough. Okay, see, it's just tipping there. It's not actually... It's not actually pushing it anymore. It's just rotating off of it is the problem. So I might need to come up one anyways just to make it work right. So, alright, so let's move this pivot up one. Put the pivot here. Alright, now let's connect it. Let's try this. See, it can pivot off that too much is the problem. It's doing it, it's just not doing it as much as I like. So I'm just watching the top there to see if it's what it's doing on the top there, and it's moving. Again, I want the smaller the swing, the better. Okay, so it's working. It's just it's fine. All right, so now let's do this. Let's see if I can't fake this with a shock. So if I can do one of these shocks here. This is like a small piston, so try this. Let's see how I want to do this. One of the issues, I have to add so many pistons and pivots. It's starting to put a lot of pivot limit on, or putting a lot of different bodies on here. Yeah, see, like I'll have to add 2 more just to make this mechanism look right. Yeah, we try. See, these things are just 3 long is just insanely, ridiculously huge to be doing anything with. It's just it's a pain. It really is. It is very much annoying to have everything be so large. Symmetry's off. Let's do this. Let's leave this as the pivot, this stupid pivot here. Okay. Then let's take this here. Set this to 0. Will this fit in? Can come in 1 block. Okay. All right, let's see how that looks. Then we want to set this suspension to 0 power, or as low as we can go, which is 1. Let's see how this looks. This is a lot of work just for aesthetics. It doesn't really do anything, but the mechanisms are kind of a prominent detail of the actual bucket itself. Okay, that's in. And that's out. Alright, so we have more than enough bucket tip. That's good. Let's go in. Okay, now it doesn't want to go in. Okay. There we go. Kind of locks up a little there. Kind of shake it loose though. So I need to limit that to about there. Okay, so see, I can go way too high on my bucket, but I really don't tip it as much as I would like. So I'm trying to think of how to get it to tip more. Let me see. Look at my pivots down here. Those are right. I think it's fine. That's kind of fine for now. And then Trying to think of how to make my arms work here with the pistons on those. So let's try something here. So that's kind of needs to be connected there, doesn't it? Symmetry's off. Of course it is. Why wouldn't it be off? Love it when symmetry's off. Okay, let's fix the symmetry here. So that needs to be cut out here. Let's try this actually. Again, these are just going to be faked for the arms going up and down. Makes the arms a little bit. See, the pistons are just insanely large. This is one of my big complaints, is the pistons are just massively. We just need multiple size pistons is kind of the deal here. Yeah. Okay, so all that needs to be redone here. Okay. Let's go ahead and, okay, that's what that was. All right, so. All right, so I think piston-wise, let's put in some quick pistons here. Come on. So this is bucket all the way down. So connector. So maybe here I'm thinking. So I kind of have to rely on these to fall down. Of course, because I didn't set these to 0 strength here, 0 power. Come on, go to 0 power. I can't click on these things and it's being annoying. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to stick something here to kind of keep the pistons to fall in the right direction for now, and then I'll fix it later. All right, let's see if these will hook. I'll manually push them, that's fine. It's just I can use that mechanism I used on the excavator. What is going on? Why am I stuck in the ground here? What is rotating this? All right. Why is this just rotating randomly is the question, and why can't I push this piston forward? What is it doing? God damn it. Alright. Something's pushing on this. Why is that pushing on that? Spawn it, see what it does. Oh, it's the tire pushing it. Alright, so let's see if we can get this piston system finished here. So, a couple thoughts I had. So, you know, this is just visual, it's just detailing work here. So, I'm trying to think how to do this and not make it a big pain. So, one of the issues, the main issue here is It's just the size of the pistons are excessive, so I kind of have to deal with that. So what I'm going to do here is I need to figure out the size here, how to get this fixed. So what I'm going to do right now is let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. All right, so let's put a connector in here. I want to see. So I'm going to probably have to do the articulation here because I need the piston to drop and connect. So let's try that. These pistons are way too large because I can't start them in the retracted position. So that's something people have been asking for a while, but we'll see. So right there, that is fully extended position. Then if I want to put a connector on there, let's see how this looks. All right, so that will fit, but the issue is going to be where to hook it up to. And it can't go past the tires or else it will hit here. So I can cut a little space by doing this. Let's do this here instead. So I'm trying to get this as long as possible. Make sure symmetry's on so I can be a little efficient here. So let's see if I can't connect this. So this is the lowest position I want probably for my arms. The bucket can tip down, so we can actually pick the front off the ground, which sometimes you'll do that. You pick the front up to scrape. So I don't need to go down anymore on this. So what I could do is put it here. And I need the pistons in the retracted position. So let's, problem too is the higher they are up, the less range I need on them. All right, let's put that back. Let's just try something here. Instead of just kind of screwing around too much, I'm going to try something and see if I can't get it right. The other thing I can do is try to do what I did up here, putting a strut, you know, the actual suspension piece, and then I might be able to XML that too long. Let's try this. Take out these pneumatic piston. All right. And then let's try a connector here. Try a connector here. Let's go vertical with it. Probably have to be vertical. All right, that'll shorten it a little bit. And then right here is going to be where it can attach. So let's see if I can't get that to work. Max power to 0, max power to 0. Let's spawn this, see if they'll grab. All right, that up. Did symmetry get shut off? What the hell? Symmetry's on. Why is this not symmetrical? I think I deleted this block, so it had nothing to post to. Okay, that would be why. So that one on the other side grabbed. Let's see if I can get this one to grab here. Alright, so those are full compression. That's perfect. They need to rotate here. We'll see how that interacts. Let's go ahead and start putting it up, see what they look like. See, what the hell is that doing there? It's because I didn't have symmetry on initially. So this stuff didn't get deleted, which is annoying as hell. Get rid of that, get rid of that. All right. So those are in. Let's try again. Some of the symmetry mistakes are always annoying because it's just, if you get symmetry in, it screws you all up. All right, let's start putting it up. Up, infinite electricity. Oh, there we go. All right, so that looks to be working. It's not the best system, but it is in. I could probably actually go up one if I wanted to, because I still have room to go back. All right, so that is working. So let's do a save. And then I'm not a huge fan of it, so I will redo it, but I just want to make sure I can get the angles right and not have it take up too much space. So I have the save, so we can go back to that if need be. And then I want to fix it so that it's better. So right here, so let's see what I can do here. I'm trying to find a place to put it that's not too cumbersome. So let's do this. Let's delete these. Let's find a 2 wedge and stick that in there. A 4 wedge, that's a 2 wedge there. Alright, so that cross brace is in there, and then let's try to thin this a little bit by putting in another 2 wedge. There we go. Alright, so now let's try to get it under here. And I kind of want it to attach higher. So I'm just thinking of the geometry in my head. So if I were to put it here, let's see what this would look like putting it here. Alright, so can I go under here? Let me quickly check, see if I don't think I can go under there. No, not with this here. I should be able to cut straight across here. Okay. No, I can't go straight across there, can I? Oh, I screwed a bunch of stuff up. Yeah, see, that needs to rotate there. I could come up with this whole mechanism. Alright, I'm going to end up doing this. Let's come up with this mechanism. It's a little pedantic, but it gets, I think it's important to get this up where it needs to be. Also kind of look at where I'm sitting in the seat to make sure that that goes there. And this needs to come up. Cut that, move it up. Alright, and then all this needs to come up. So we'll cut this, move that up one. And of course all this is going to need testing again once that's done. So this needs to come up. Might be able to refine this mechanism at some point. Alright, so this will go there, and then this here attaches to that. This piece can come back down. So the other thing I was thinking on the bucket was they have high tip buckets that the bucket splits. So essentially the back of it's flat and then this part lifts up. So you would scoop it and fill it with ore and then you open up and it dumps out the entire bucket quickly. And the only reason I thought of that is trying to hide this funnel in the front. The funnel in the front's funky, but it's currently how we kind of have to do it. Unless I can figure out something else. So I'll have to play with that. By moving that up, it's going to have more range, but what I can do is cut it down one. So let's cut it down one now. So I just move this down. And then, so go like this, and then that should fix that issue, because the geometry is just going to be changed. So hopefully that is good. The other thing I could do is move this up and stick it there, so I might do that. Just trying to, doing a bunch of rework here, trying to just get these pistons in. So it's an aesthetic portion of it, but I want them to face the correct direction and everything, so it's kind of a pain. Is this anything important? No, that can go for now. Alright, so I need to try to put a piston in here. And so I want the connector, where's the connector going to have to go? Alright, so let's go ahead and put this in here. Merge that. That tells me kind of where that has to be. So the piston has to go underneath. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to kind of build out some block here and then need to kind of guess where this piston's going here. So underneath like that, and then let's find a pivot. If I can make this one unit, I can then just move them as necessary. So a lot of this is just trying to figure the geometry and get that right. It's all for just decoration, but if something looks right, that's a big part of it. I think being fun for me is kind of having the right look. So that is where we want to be. Now what we need to do is, this is actually pretty good, is I can move these forward, and that's what I need to do. So I need to kind of, if I can get where I can see. So that looks like this can come in 2 blocks. So these have to go forward 2 blocks. Okay, so we'll cut that, and we'll inch them forward 2 blocks. That's fine. That's perfect. And then the same thing on this side. Alright, so we'll cut this, we'll move it forward 2 blocks. 1, 2. Alright, paste that. Let's go ahead and turn these pistons to 0 strength. Do that now so that it doesn't bite me later. And we can erase all of this kind of just extra block there. Alright, and so let's kind of just This is just mostly to see. I want to be able to turn this and make sure that works. And then usually there's like a slope section in here so that rocks won't fall in there. Alright, so these should hopefully come back and attach to here. Let's go ahead and test it. Okay, good. They're grabbing pretty quickly, actually. This one here is misbehaving. This one doesn't want to attach. You're being bad, is what you're being. Okay. So let's work it the other side anyway. There's no point in fixing that one if it ends up not working. Why is it dancing? Okay, so see, it's too far back. So that other piston there is already crunched. So I kind of have to look at that. So apparently it's too squished anyway. So right about, there is going to be where it's compressed. So it needs to come back 1. So one thing I might do actually is, this is looking a little thin in here. So let's do this instead. So let's cut this And then what I'll do is I'll actually move this a block forward. So we'll do that instead. And that's going to both fix the issue of this looking too thin, and it will also, yeah, we'll also fix that issue too. So let's go ahead and grab this and grab this. Yeah, it definitely just looks too thin, the arms. Alright, so this will fix a couple issues, thicken up the arms a little bit, and see, that looks better anyway, and then that will also give us more space for more space as well. And then what do I want to do? Let's go ahead and grab this 1x4, and can I go across, or is it going to grab like other stuff I don't want? Yeah, it's going to grab other stuff, so we'll do it one at a time. Cut this and then put that down one. So I'm just thickening these arms up a little. They're just way too thin, and so they just don't look the part. They look a little bit weak, and so we kind of, this is a reasonably large front end loader, so I kind of want it to look correct. And I hate it when it does that. Alright, so that's now there. Let's go ahead and let's cut this out. So this solves a couple problems for us. Fixes the thinning, and then that allows us to have more space to kind of deal with this. There we go. There we go. Alright, so I'm liking that. This could be thickened up here. What I'll actually do is cut that, and then we'll go like so. That's better there. Alright, so that's good. That thickens the arms up a little bit, and it moved these forward, and then I don't have to move the pistons back where they could be in the way. So it sounded like they both clicked really quick. Yep, they did. No jittering, as you can see, because now they're not... this one's jittering a little bit, so see what's up with that. Yeah, they're both jittering a little bit. What I could do is put the starting position. See, it's not causing it to flip out. It's not causing it, like last time it was rotating because of the phantom forces. This time it's not. So as you can see, because those are so high up on the arms, I can reach really high. Like that's about as high as you want to go, because you'll start to drop, like say you had rocks in that bucket. If you go any higher than that, you're going to drop rocks onto the cab, which could be very dangerous. Let's try the articulation of this. See how it's rotating now? That means there's some sort of physics collision causing a problem, which is probably, I can see where it is. Right there at the top, you can see it's kind of, see how it's breaking the piston? That's, get out of my seat, I can fix it. Alright, so when did I build this frickin' wall here, man? Alright, Jesus, I'm stuck in here. Okay. There we go. Alright, so this needs to be fixed. That's fine. What I want to try as well is, let's see if I can't move this whole thing up. Cut that and move it up one. Okay, let's then cut this. Okay, merge that. Make sure this is zeroed. Those are zeroed, yeah. Make sure that is all the way to minimum. Alright, let's try this and we'll look at it, see how the bucket piston is working for us. Alright, so up. Right there. See, this is what's the issue, is see how it's compressing? So normally what a lot of systems, what they have is it's kind of neat. It's just a mechanical system. It's kind of it's hard to explain. It's kind of like a little ring that keeps it so that as you tip the bucket up, it automatically tips the, oh, that's going the wrong way. Huh, that goes the wrong way. That's no good. So it's as you bring the arm up, it would automatically tip the bucket forward to keep the bucket level. It's like an auto bucket leveler. So see, that's the problem, is it's compressing this. Let me see. So one way I might be able to fix this is to bring this down one. Let me try that. So I know I just brought it up, but I can bring this down, hopefully. Bring that down. One block there. Okay, and then bring this down. If I can bring this down, it changes the angle. Let's try that. So kind of trying to talk about at the same time. So essentially, the shorter this part is here, going up and down, the less movement forward and backwards it needs to do, essentially. So the higher I put that, the more angle I need, essentially. So let's go all the way up and make sure I'm not crushing that again. See how it's moving less now because I moved that down. Now am I having an interaction there? I don't think so. So see how I can go all the way up now and it compresses. So the higher, essentially, I'll show you a little example in a second here. So the auto levelers as well, see, this is the problem, is I can't tip now because this works this direction. So I have to fix that. Okay. So the other thing I could do is get rid of this system and put in a different one, but I'm trying not to have to reinvent the wheel. So let's try this. So this should be an easy... yeah, it's kind of annoying. Using this, see, I can't get this longer is the problem. Yeah, the problem is this needs to go in to push the bucket out. I kind of need this out to push the bucket in. So what I could do is, see, the problem is I had this working earlier. I'm trying to think what to do here. I need more stroke on this piston here. All right. Let's try this. So what I'm going to try is, I didn't really want to do this, but I might have to, is go like that. And then hopefully this will cause this to extend and grab, and then it will start in a more outward position. So see how it starts in a more outward position? So I need that piston out. See, it's at max out now. And then I go up. So as I go up, it's now going to compress. So it has some compression room. And now when I go in, see how I have enough stroke to do what I need to do. I can't, see, because I changed the geometry of that, that's an issue. Yeah, so I kind of screwed the geometry of this up. a number of ways. Okay. So one of the things I did as well is the further away, the higher this is here, the more stroke I need on my piston, because I shorten this arm. The longer this arm is, the less of a swing this one needs to make. So let's do this. I kind of put this backwards. So let's go. I know it's me back and forth, and it's probably annoying, but you know, the benefit of this is kind of learning how the geometry of all this works. And so let's go down all the way to here. And then this should make it so that I don't have to do as much motion up top. Again, I'll kind of do a quick little diagram, a quick little example to show you. So essentially, if you have a pivot here, let's make that this color, and then you have your short lever here, so say that's 2 blocks, and then you have your long lever on this side. Your long lever is that long. All right, so because this lever is so long, its swing is like this much. So if I move this up 1 block, this one might go down 5 blocks. And so what I'm doing here is I'm increasing the length of that bottom lever, and I'm shrinking the length of this. So by shrinking this, I can get this to move more range. Or I can extend this and get more range. So those are my 2 options to get more range, essentially, out of this. And so now I am increasing the length of my bottom lever. The other thing you can do too is you need to have a triangle to make these piston systems work. And so we have a triangle, as you can see. You have here and then up. This is a block or 2 blocks apart. That's your triangle. What I'm going to do is move this down. I'm going to move it down as low as it can go to still create the triangle. So right there, it needs to be 1 block at least above this, or else it's just going to push. This one will actually try to tip. And so that will paste there, and then we'll merge here. All right. And so what I'll do is I will delete that out, and then how many blocks away am I? Might be able to get a 1x4 in there. No. Did I just did delete that. I don't want to delete that much. It's right there. So let's go ahead and go. All right, so that's there. This is here. Now let's check this out. This should give me more room for bucket tilt. All right. Put that flashlight away. All right, so something's rotating me already, so we're already having some physics issue. Okay, see right there, that's dancing, so see, I just need that much. See how it's dancing? Now I go up 1, so what I'll do is I'll set my lower limit to here. So that's as low as my arms can go. If you notice, I can still tip my bucket to the ground and even lift my wheels up. So oftentimes, when I would drive front-end loaders, you drag your bucket like this. That's why it's kind of angled like that. And that keeps a nice low angle so you can drag it along the ground. As you can see, scrape, 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 scrape. And, all right, so let's test this out. So let's go up all the way. And so what the auto leveler system would do is it does that mechanically, and that just keeps the bucket level so that you don't dump rocks on your head because you kill yourself. All right, so now let's tip it out. So that is just like, is that? Okay, now see, my lever is so long now that my piston doesn't really need to do anything, so I can shorten that lever up, so I have some space for that. So I want to make sure I can. Okay, so I can't tip this all the way down. So I need to fix that. So that's just probably my pivots. See, like I can tip all the way back like that, which I don't need. So like here, I'll put my bucket down. So my bucket, so that's probably just a, yeah, see, I don't need to tip my bucket that much. So let's look at these here. All right, so these are my actual pivots here. So let's grab that. And I want to roll it I just had it right that like that. Let's try that. All right, let's do this one here. All right, we'll end up this video in a second. So it's going to definitely take another video to get this finished, maybe more. You know, so much of this is just working the angles, but also like decoration could take some time. So that's merged and then this merged. All right, let's try this now. Let's see if I can't get this. All right, we're rotating again because of that compression. So once I go up, we'll be good. So let's go up all the way. And I'm going to try to go up as far as I can. Okay, so that still lets me go up too high. I need to be able to see that's not moving that enough. I can fix that in a second. Okay, now I'm doing better dumping my bucket. Okay, so what I need to do here is, don't need this as long as it is currently. So that's, I'm getting no movement now. So I made my bottom lever way too big. Let's try going up 2 again. And if it has issues, I'll fix it. All right, it's a lot of trial and error. You know, definitely, you know, you can also go on to, you know, kind of like engineering websites showing how they do these angles IRL and kind of look at it. All right, so that's going to do the jittering because of that piston, but that's fine. All right, so we'll see about what tipping this looks like. So now, see if I can get some piston compression here. So that's just rotating around that. So I might change that bottom pivot out for a, yeah, I might change that bottom pivot out for just a connector. Okay, so there is my tip. See, I could still go too high up. Okay. I'm trying to see how to get this to... All right. So let's do this really quick. Let's get rid of this. Let's try putting a hard coupling in here. See if this will work. Okay. I don't think so, but we'll try it. Okay, so that is working there, that hard coupling. So kind of working? No. Now it's not working. It worked to start, but now it won't pull it back. It kind of went too extreme, I think. Just trying to work out the geometry here. Working out the geometry can be a pain. Alright, so I think we'll end here, and then the next video we'll catch up and continue working on this geometry and then hopefully do some other stuff. Again, this geometry stuff can kind of get into, can be a little bit involved, but I will see you in the next one.